What's up, guys? I know I've been neglecting you guys. There's been so many things I want to talk about. I just haven't gotten around to talk about it. So many. There's been movie news, been like stuff that I've watched that I haven't done reviews on or anything. So today I'm gonna do like a compilation of a couple of a few different things I want to review. That I mean, it's been out for a while, but the reason why I want to talk about it is because I feel like I review things that I review more things that I dislike than that I like, right? Because there's more to pick apart. There's more, I'm more critical of things I'm a big fan of, So like I like a lot of the superhero stuff that's been coming out. I'm a big superhero fan, right? So I'm more critical on those things, and the state of superhero movies is not great. So there's a lot of pick apart. So I do videos on those, but there's been a few projects that I've seen, so a few movies and shows and stuff that I've seen. Three I'm gonna talk about that I mean I wasn't a big fan of going in. Some of them I was aware of, but I watched it and I really enjoyed it. So we're talking about Lord of the Flies, we're talking about Masters of the Universe, and we're talking about the Backrooms. Let's start out with Lord of the Flies because that's the oldest one, and that show was fantastic. That show, I think that's probably the best on the list. Like that show is, I'd say that's my favorite live action show off Netflix. And not that I've watched many live action shows on Netflix. I think like Stranger Things is the only live action original show I've seen on Netflix. I don't know, but Lord of the Flies. If you have not watched Lord of the Flies yet, go watch it. From what I read the book like in middle school, I think. We had to read it for school, and this, from what I remember, granted it's middle school, but from what I remember, this show really captured the essence of Lord of the Flies. The cinematography, the music, the the entire tone of the show was fantastic. The editing and cinematography, especially, and the music. I mean, I literally just said that, but it's great. The acting is great. The casting is great. Like watching it, it reminded me of these old bedtime stories, these old children's stories that we used to read when I was a kid. Like these old timey American stories. I mean, obviously they're not American kids; they're British kids. But like way back in the day in America, like the culture, you could see there were similarities between like British culture and American culture, the way people looked and acted and all of that stuff. So, I mean, just seeing that was really cool. But what really blew me away about that show was the visual storytelling, the symbolism involved, the acting. The kids did such a good job, man. You have to watch the show. I guess I gotta talk about a negative. The only thing I didn't like about the show that I feel like was a downside, frick, it's been a while since I watched it. But the character who frick, I don't want to give spoilers either, but there's a character. For those of you who know Lord of the Flies, he's the one who had the conversation with the boar's head, right? Um, that conversation needed to have been better. There needed to have more context there because what happened later on with his character, why it happened, his role amongst the other kids. From what I remember, it was explained better in the book than it was in the show. You could kind of tell what they were trying to go for, that he understood what was going on. He understood the Lord of the Flies. He understood what was happening to the kids, but um, uh, it didn't. They needed to have. I feel like they needed more context. They needed to explain that a little bit more because if you go and watch the behind the scenes, the way the actor is talking, the way the people were talking about his character, that was evident. They knew that. That's what they were going for, but it wasn't. It wasn't as prevalent in the show as I would like it to be. So that's my only criticism. Everything else about that show I absolutely loved, man. The characters were fantastic. The writing was fantastic. The cinematography was fantastic. Music was fantastic. Again, that show was great. Really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What's crazy about that show also is the fact that they dropped a making of documentary right after the show came out. Like they knew they did a fantastic job and we need to document this. The show is going to do well. We need to document this because people are going to want to watch it. The fact that they did that was like, I mean, the show is very well made. And I mean, So again, props off to Lord of the Flies, fantastic show. So let's move on to the next thing, Backrooms. That I Backrooms, if you haven't watched it, Backrooms is one of those movies where you go. Ken Parsons is the director, I believe. I'm jumping all over the place. Backrooms is one of those movies where you go and watch it, and when you're done, when you come out of the theater, you're up all night. You're looking up things. You're diving into the lore. You're looking at the backstory and everything. Like when I finished watching the movie, I wanted more. I looked up the history of the Backrooms. I looked up like how they started, the whole creepypasta, the original post, and the comment that pretty much literally created the entire lore for the Backrooms, and then how all these different stories came about. And I mean, it's super cool. The idea of creepypastas is really interesting. But I hope the original poster and especially that commenter, I mean, they're anonymous. Somehow they get credit, or I don't know. I mean, at least they're feeling proud within themselves of what they've created, you know. And the director, he's a young kid, and he did a fantastic job, you know. Backrooms was it was awesome. It was really, really, really intriguing. The idea was awesome. The idea of liminal spaces was new to me. Like the idea was new. I never put a name to it, but I have always been intrigued by stuff like that. Like the Stanley Parable is one of my favorite games. I really enjoyed that game, and you can see where Backrooms took inspiration from Stanley Parable. It's If you haven't played Stanley Parable, you gotta go play it. And also Severance is another show that is similar to Stanley Parable, and I believe Severance took inspiration from Backrooms actually. Um, so I'm a fan of that type of content. And Portal also. Portal has some liminal space type of vibe to it. Portal is probably my second favorite game of all time. So I'm like I like stuff like this. So you take that atmosphere that I really enjoy, and then you add to that the fact that you are this person. Well, the character is this person that is thrown into it, not knowing anything, trying to figure it out. I love stuff like that, like The Matrix, Stanley Parable again, Severance again. I mean, see, all of these things have similar themes and all that. I really enjoy stuff like that. It makes me want to dive in there and go and explore myself, which we did. Immediately after watching the movie, we downloaded some Backrooms games and started playing it. And it's super cool, dude. I love stuff like that. And then I gotta go and watch. Ken Parsons is his name, I believe. I gotta go and watch his YouTube channel because he made a whole bunch of he was a fan of the Backrooms, and they decided to, hey, I want to do stuff with this, and it's a cool space. I find it intriguing, and so he started a YouTube series, and he made YouTube videos about it. He made stuff in Blender, and the entire first sequence of the movie, the first person sequence, done in Blender. That's kind of crazy, and Blender is a free software. That's awesome. I'm a fan of it. I see a lot of people say they didn't like the way it ended. The third act of the movie. They say it fell apart at the end. I didn't have as much issue as other people had with it. You can clearly see he's left it open-ended. You can dive into it whole lot more. I believe he said he wants to make an entire Backrooms TV show. So, and he's not doing it to milk content, apparently. He genuinely has a plan, and he genuinely has something that he wants to create and put out there into the world. So I'm excited for that. One thing I'll be sad about is we're not going to be seeing the main character of Backrooms. At least that's what I'm thinking. We're not going to see his character. I'd like to because I want to see what happens. What did he learn while he was in the Backrooms? He came up to he had an epiphany. He understood something. Something clicked, and he figured something out. And we're not going to see that. He spilled his beans to his therapist, and that's what we know. That's what can carry forward. But I want a progression of knowledge. I want to build upon his knowledge, build upon what he learned. The next project, it seems like we're going to have to backtrack a bit and then continue to build on it. That's what I'm like, dang it, man. But I like the idea that the Backrooms remembers, and and every layer of memory gets distorted. Like you dream something, you wake up, and then you go back to sleep, and you fall back into the dream, and the layers build and build and build, and they get distorted as the deeper you go. It's cool, man. I love stuff like this. It's really interesting. So Backrooms, is one of the better movies that I've seen in a while. It's even if the production isn't at the level of like some major massive production, like the first sequence, you can tell it's CG. Even if the production quality isn't up there, it's a creative project. The acting is done well. It's a new idea. I mean, it's not a new idea in terms of it's been a creepypasta, it's been on the internet for a while, but to the mainstream, it's a new thing. It's something fresh and something unique. Even if it's not new, it's unique. It's very unique in the horror space. It's unique in general. I like it. I think it's really cool. There's a lot. It's very open ended. There's a lot of mystery involved. They can go in multiple directions, and it seems like the director understands where he wants to go, and you have faith in that. You have faith in the future because of what he's done in the past and how he attacks the present. And so it's not like, dang it, the studio is going to mess this up now, and like they're like all of this like executive interference and everything. You don't think that. You think like, hey, this guy has his head on straight. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants. I'm a fan of what he did. I'm looking forward to the future, and that in and of itself is refreshing. I say for the same reason I want to watch Obsession. I've been watched Obsession. I've been a fan of their YouTube channel, right? Curry and dude, what's the other dude's name? I forgot, man. Parker is his name. I forgot. Frick. The Bad Idea, right? The YouTube channel. I've been a fan of them, and I want to watch the movie Obsession because I'm hearing the movie is fantastic. So, same reason, same thing. It feels like it's something fresh, it's something cool. And then now Curry's got Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, you go from a YouTube channel to the studio offering you a massive franchise. That's kind of crazy. That's awesome. So like, I mean, props to these guys, these brand new guys in Hollywood. Hopefully they keep that creative spark. Hopefully they don't get watered down. Hopefully they don't get waterboarded, honestly, by Hollywood. And I mean, you see what happens to all of these creatives in Hollywood. They're just trying to churn out content, and everything gets watered down. It gets dull. It gets formulaic. Because everyone is trying to appease a certain audience. I mean, what happens to targeting a specific audience? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, it makes sense from a fiscal perspective, but from a creative and artistic perspective, it's the death of creativity. It's the death of artistry. And I don't understand how these directors and writers can live with that. I mean, you can say, yeah, I have a job, but at the end of the day, it's a creative medium, and creative people are not going to want to go into Hollywood. They're not going to want to be directors if you can't be creative. It's all this is going to do is either the mainstream big budget blockbuster Hollywood movies are going to continue to dwindle and the indie space is going to boom, or Hollywood is just going to collapse, which I don't think, because the medium of film is, I don't see it's not going anywhere, I mean, that was a crazy tangent. But anyways, let's move to Masters of the Universe. I was not a big He-Man fan. I was not a He-Man fan at all. I never watched He-Man. I was aware of He-Man. I've seen clips and things here and there growing up, but that's about it. I'm a big Conan the Barbarian fan, and I mean, He-Man took some inspiration from that. So I went into this movie completely blind, pretty much. I didn't know about Skeletor. I didn't know about the characters and all of that. So I was going in blind. I knew it was an 80s cartoon. I knew the kind of the vibe of it, but that was it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought Skeletor was fun. I thought every single moment Jared Leto was on screen was really cool. He said some weird things, like you're something about your sword dangling between your glorious thighs. Like, he said some out of pocket stuff, which was weird. It took me out of it a little bit, but it was funny, I guess. But his character was fantastic. The design was fantastic, especially the scenes where he is literally weightlifting in the gym, and then he's at the restaurant in a suit. Like, he looked awesome, dude. I really liked his character. He was really cool. I liked that He-Man wore the outfit that he was supposed to wear. Like, the look of the character was, like, the look of him, his acting, the actor, I liked. It was really cool. They leaned into that camp, which I did enjoy. They literally did the ha ha ha, the laugh at the end. You know that I've seen gifs and stuff. Again, I haven't watched the show, but I'm aware of stuff that I'm aware of He-Man. You know, I mean, like how anybody's a fan of pop culture, you're gonna be aware of things. You know, in that way. So I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, obviously, it's nowhere near as good as Lord of the Flies and Backrooms. I'm just lumping this in here because it was a movie that I recently watched that I had a fun time with. And a lot of people hated on it. I think, at least I'm assuming so, because it's doing horribly. It's doing bad. From what I'm seeing, it's failing at the box office, which I don't know why. It's a fun time. I feel like they respected the lore. I feel like they captured that 80s essence. I think they did a good job with it. One of my friends I watched the movie with, he is a big He-Man fan, and he was talking about like how the whole thing about sending him back to Earth and all of that stuff was not in the original thing. So that's a massive chunk, you know, that they did new, but it worked. I thought it worked. They did have some of that MCU style humor, which, you know, I'm hypersensitive to because of what every single action adventure comedy movie in Hollywood has, that cheesy, bland, formulaic MCU humor, which I don't like. But in addition to that, they had some genuinely good, funny stuff. They had some good humor in this movie. I thought they did a good job. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was a fun time. Was it a fantastic, oh my gosh, this movie is amazing? No, but I thought it was good. I thought I had a fun time, and it was definitely, it doesn't deserve to fail abysmally at the box office. It's not a bad movie at all by any means. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. I just wanted to talk about some stuff that I actually liked, you know, so that I had a good time with, that I came back, that I felt like I had a positive experience. I walked out of the theater with a smile on my face instead of, you know, I mean, hating on everything all the time, because I feel like Hollywood movies and general shows haven't been up to par yet. So it's not that I want to hate on things. I don't like hating on things. I want to like things. That's why I'm investing time to watch it, because I want to like it. You know, I don't want to invest time, sit down and watch something and then not like it, and it'd be a waste of my time, you know? So I just wanted to highlight stuff that I've actually liked instead of continuously being disappointed with what we've been getting. So speaking of disappointed, I'm going to watch Supergirl tonight. From what I'm hearing, that movie is not great. Based off the trailers, I'm not so excited to watch it. Hopefully it's good. I am very curious. I do want to go watch it because I'm invested and I'm a superhero fan and I want this movie to do well. I want to like it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man. That's it for me, man. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What did you guys think about this video? If you've seen Lord of the Flies, if you've seen Backrooms, if you've seen Masters of the Universe, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you've seen Supergirl, let me know down below what you thought about it. If you haven't, or you guys are going to see it, let me know down below. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.